Now, against lighting of lamps at Deepathoon, the Stalin government in Tamil Nadu provided heavy police protection to allow the hoisting of a ceremonial flag atop the Sikandar Dargah, located atop the Thirupuran Kundram hill, that has been in news because of the state government denying the lighting of a ceremonial Hindu lamp next to the temples there. Earlier in the day, tension prevailed near the hill when around 20 to 50 people blocked entry to the path leading to the Dargah, demanding permission to climb the hill to light a Deepam, but the police denied them. Protesters were detained, taken to a private hall and released in the evening, a stark contradiction that has sparked a larger debate. Why does one religious expression find accommodation while another faces obstruction in Tamil Nadu, particularly related to this case? So here's what all has transpired today. There were about 12 men of the Muslim community hoisting a flag atop the Sikandar Dargah for traditional Sandana Kuru festival, following which there were Hindu groups, BJP cadres who objected, stating that they should also be allowed to light the Deepam on the sub judice Deepathoon. As police resisted this attempt, there was also a bit of a march that was carried forward to the hill by these protesters. A scuffle broke out between the two. Police detained 60 of them and took them to a separate location, only to be released later. Meanwhile, the district police has now announced that they will allow the public to climb to the hilltop to offer prayers at the Unnachi Pillaraya temple. While the Stalin government has permitted hoisting of this flag, here's what the government has claimed in Madras High Court while objecting to lighting of the lamps at the Deepathoon. The state government arguments have changed over the past few weeks. It had initially started with an argument that this Deepathoon may trigger certain religious tensions, religious sentiments of various religious communities are involved because this Deepathoon is close to the Dargah there. They also said that this could potentially trigger a law and order situation. Remember, they refused to provide security to the petitioner who won the case in the court to light the lamp, and there was anyways a law and order situation that was caused because of the denial of the implementation of the court order. The government has since then argued that the court's directive to allow the lamp lighted constituted a judicial overreach, and it was against the previous court orders by double judge benches. So therefore, they are going to go in appeal, but in the meantime, they weren't going to allow the implementation of the order. But here's this interesting part. Now the state government, arguing this case, has said that the tradition since 1862 is that you light the lamp at the Uchi Pilaya temple at the lower level rather than on the hilltop pillar itself, which the government is opposing. They are accusing the petitioners of trying to change a practice followed by Hindus for generations. And they are now even claiming that there is no historical evidence to prove that the structure is religious in nature to begin with. But here's the kicker. They also argue in court that this structure could be Jain in its origins, and it would be wrong to equate it with a Hindu symbolism or Hindu rite or ritual. So they on one hand claim it is not religious, on another hand claim that even if it's religious, it's Jain in nature. Where have we heard this before? We've heard this before in the Ram temple issue in Ayodhya. Meanwhile, the Dargah side has made fresh claims in the court. The Waqf board, representing the Dargah's interest, now claims that Deepathoon is located on land that was granted to the Dargah in 1920. The state is, by the way, supporting this stance. The Dargah maintains that there is no historical evidence to prove that the Kartigai Deepam was traditionally lit at that specific pillar. They further claim that the pillar was accessible primarily from the Dargah side. So these claims are also echoing the sentiments of the arguments by the Stalin government, and the court has also put its weight behind the fact that the contested Deepathoon could actually lie on Dargah land now. So even as the flag hoisting on the Dargah is okay, the larger question here is, why was the simple act of lighting a lamp such a big problem for the Tamil Nadu government? That's coming up.
On the one hand, the DMK prevents Hindus from lighting the sacred Kartigai Deepam at the Deepathoon, but on the other hand, it gives permission to the Dargah there to conduct its own ceremonies. Why this double standards? Do Hindus have no rights in their own country and their own state?
The role of the elected government to ensure that there is peace that prevails in the section of the society. But what DMK wants is DMK wants a bloodbath in Tirupparamkundram so that it can appease a section of the people for vote bank politics. They are only interested to play the religion card in Tirupparamkundram issue, and it is the total colossal failure of MK Stalin and his incompetence which is leading to this stalemate.
Kalyan Raman, spokesperson, Tamil Nadu BJP, Pulla Rao, political analyst, Suman C. Raman, political analyst, and C. Rajashekharan, lawyer and political analyst, also joining us. Mr. Pulla Rao, I begin with you. You know, with this ceremonial flag hoisting on the Dargah, the central question related to this entire episode comes back into question, which is, what was the big issue? What was the big problem if that Deepatun, which was closer to the Dargah, could be lit for 1 day? For 1 day of the year to mark a ceremonial lighting of lamp is what the petitioner was asking to begin with. Why did the state government make such a big issue? They can provide police protection for the Dargah festivities. Why not for the temple?
Straight away, it doesn't take much intelligence to go through this. There are state governments and state governments. There's a government in Uttar Pradesh which has a different philosophy. There's a government in Tamil Nadu or Kerala which have different philosophy.
What is that philosophy?
Consequences. They have taken a line. They have taken a line that it suits them, and they went to court. The government appealed to the Supreme Court, and this is going on. Right away in the beginning, when this issue came up, I had mentioned in many places that these are legacy issues, and when one side gets a court order, it should not be an act of triumphalism. We won, and we know we vanquished you. It should be more soft. It should be a very soft launching.
Was there triumphalism in this case?
Yes, they were trying. I believe so, not only on this issue, any other such legacy issues. You know, be it caste, religion, legacy issues, I say. It should be very, you know, it's not that you won something, you defeated something. You should feel, okay, we won the right.
Okay, no, I agree with you. I think that's a good...
Let there be a harmonious way of doing these things.
Fair enough, but what can be more harmonious as going to court and getting an order in your favor?
No, they got an order, and I'm sorry, maybe I wouldn't have said go and appeal, but the government has appealed, and so that is where it is.
So you mentioned that this
I
is
would have a different viewpoint. I will have a different viewpoint, but the government has appealed.
But I want to understand from you, because you track the DMK very closely.
I track all parties.
Okay, fair enough.
And as I said,
but you said that this is because of a certain philosophy that suits the Tamil Nadu government. Can you tell me what is that philosophy and why did this line suit the government?
Well, I need not even expand it. Every day we hear them, whether it's at a Christmas party or at some other meeting, they have a certain philosophy.
Which is what?
The West Bengal Chief Minister has a certain philosophy. You know, the central government, the government of India has a certain other philosophy. Elections have consequences. I wish they didn't. I wish everything was smoothly run by a bureaucracy in some ways. But these issues are coming up, and politicians of all hues will try to place themselves at a place of advantage.
So, sir, can I then cut the chase? You are saying there's a certain philosophy that suits them. You don't want to expand on it. But the opposition's charges, or many people's charges, that this is basically an anti-Hindu philosophy, right? Anti-Hindu political philosophy, which the DMK government has taken forward by behaving in the way that they have in this case.
They also have a small caveat. You know, there's no Hindu leader or somebody who interprets Hinduism for me. I am as good as a Hindu as any of these other friends of mine. We are a multi-theistic religion, unlike the other religions which are religions of the book. They have pontiffs, they have, ayatollahs, they have everything. We have a very liberal religion, there are different interpretations.
But that liberalism cannot be used against your litigants.
We represent Hinduism. It's not correct, I believe. My friends,
no, but is the DMK anti-Hindu? Forget who represents Hindus. There is no one political party who does that. The DMK is facing the charge that you are anti-Hindu in your political mindset.
No, in ADMK and DMK, which are Dravidian parties, there are Hindus, more Hindus than others.
You could still be anti-Hindu. Hindu participation doesn't mean you can't be anti-Hindu.
I don't think so. I don't think any government is anti-Muslim. I don't think any government is anti-Muslim or anti-Hindu. They have a certain view. And my only prayer is they should stick within the confines of certain limits of harmony, Fight for your right.
You're
Don't be
absolutely
triumphal.
right.
Don't be
In
triumphal
fact, when this
you win it.
entire case erupted, my question only was, who was this harming to begin with? Was it unharmonious to allow the lighting of the Deepam? At that time, even the Dargah didn't seem to mind it too much, till the state government took a certain position and they are battling it out in court. But Suman C. Raman, I want to bring in Suman C. Raman. You know, the other interesting part is, Mr. Pullarao is right. We could, at a societal level, sort out these issues. But we have seen in the past that they aren't sorted out till you get court orders. But I'll leave that aside. My question is simply this. A government may have a certain political philosophy, as Pullarao is talking about, but they cannot deny legal rights to people. This is the point here, that the state government in its overzealousness has ended up denying legal rights to a litigant.
Yeah, Shivani, before answering that question, I want to ask Mr. Pullarao if Sanatana Dharma is related to Hinduism in some way or not, because this is a party that has said that they want to eradicate or destroy Sanatana Dharma. And if you say that that still does not make them anti-Hindu, maybe you can explain to me what would be or what would constitute being anti-Hindu. So the first point is the DMK is on record. Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin is on record saying that they would like to destroy Sanatana Dharma the way dengue or malaria or any other disease should be eradicated. So let's be very clear on that. The second point, as far as this court judgment is concerned, let's be very, very clear. The Muslim community did not have a problem with it. That is what makes this such a bizarre kind of an issue. And there have been political commentators who have been comparing it with Ayodhya and all that, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
There was a disputed structure. Here, the Deepatun area is not in dispute. It is not within
Suman,
the Dargah.
now it is. Now it is. Now the
That
Waqf
is the
board,
state government has made it.
Exactly. The state government has now made it a land dispute.
A matter that was decided by the Privy Council in 1931 is now being sought by the state to be made into a dispute. This is incredible. I've never come across an instance where a state has reopened a matter that had been deemed to be settled and created a problem between communities where none existed.
Yes.
You have dozens of videos of leaders of Muslim organizations saying that they have no problem with this verdict because it does not infringe on their rights in any way. And by the way, I strongly support the procession, the Sandanakood festival of the Dargah yesterday, because that has been going on for years. It should be allowed. I have no problem with that.
Absolutely. But the question, the contradiction that arises is, if you could allow that, and that was harmonious, why couldn't you allow the lighting of that lamp by 10 people, which the original order said, for one day of the year?
Because you lose minority votes, and because Vijay is threatening minority votes who are your core constituency. Vijay
so then how are you any different than, for example, a BJP that faces the charge of being communal?
Shivani,
you're not different.
I've been saying for 10 years they are two sides of the same coin.
Exactly.
That's about it.
Exactly, just different religious groups that they bat for more. But I want to bring in Rajashekharan here as well. Suman C. Raman has been asking the same question, and that is the same question in our minds today. Why has the government now made it, for example, a land dispute when none existed? Their initial argument was, oh, it's a law and order issue, oh, you're changing custom, oh, this is religious sentiments. Now in court, they're saying, oh, there is no Deepatun that exists. This isn't Hindu. It could be Jain, but it's a survey spot. And this land could belong to the Dargah after all. Is this fair by the state government?
Shivani, first of all, we all must understand, we must stop interpreting every sentence and every word of the court and the government statement. Let us understand this case on merits. The government did not go to the court to file a case. It was a private man in the name of Ram Kumar or Ravi Kumar, from some Hindu Munani outfit of some BJP supported outfit. We went to the court. There was no problem for more than 100 years since 1920. I agree. the Privy Council and everything, the judgments later on, subsequent judgments, and Jayalalitha was the Chief Minister. 2017 judgment was also not interfered by then government, and it was the local authorities, the temple authorities, the Dargah authorities were given the power to do whatever they wanted in their respective places. All this happened. So no problem. Suddenly one fellow comes with a petition in the court before one judge. I don't want to cast aspersions on the judge. Let me be honest and fair. See, this is an unwarranted political agenda the courts are being hoodwinked and dragged into, which the court should have been careful and refrained
What
from
is the
interfering
agenda
into
here? What is the agenda exactly?
I'll tell you. See, as you rightly said, it was the job of the Dargah authorities, the temple authorities, and the local people who are doing it for more than a century. So, being the case, what made an individual to file a case, and then all these political parties with an agenda, Hindutva agenda. It has nothing to do with Hinduism. It has nothing to do with Christianity. It has nothing to do with Muslims. It is the Hindutva
You're not
ideology.
answering my question.
No, let me finish.
Rajashekharan, I asked you a question.
Stop interjecting and heckling me, Shivani.
Please,
Allow me
I
to
don't have
speak.
time for the history of the case. I have outlined the history of the case.
When you are anchoring a case, you are anchoring a debate, you should know the history. You cannot set a narrative according to your whims and fancies.
What narrative have I said?
No, you are saying it is against Hinduism.
I didn't say that. I'm saying the government is facing a charge that you accommodated Muslim sentiments, but you're not accommodating Hindu sentiments.
No, the Hindutva agenda is being set as a narrative. It has nothing to do with Hinduism. It has
Sir,
nothing
you
to do
are a
with
lawyer.
any religion.
Rajashekharan, you are a lawyer.
Hindutva
Hindutva agenda, Hindutva ideology, DMK ideology, DMK Dravidian ideology aside. I'm saying all of that, listen to what I'm saying. All of that aside, the only recourse the public has in this country is that they can go honorably and in an honest fashion, in harmonious fashion to a court. Now you're saying, what is the need to go to the court because you don't like it? Mr. Raman wants to come in. Yes, Kalyan Raman.
If at all anybody who is setting Hindutva agenda in Tamil Nadu, it is the DMK government. The reason being that an issue was taken up by an individual called Rama Ravi Kumar before the court of law, and the court has adjudicated that Deepam may be lit. The ownership of the entire hill belongs to Lord Muruga, but for the place having Dargah in the entire hill. That being the case, no other place is devoid of any activity by anybody who is a Hindu. Very fortunately, one man has gone there seeking a permission. Instead of bypassing any permission, he went to seeking the permission, and the court had granted the permission. Had the government left it to happen as it is, there would not have been any such issue so far. But the government stopped it from happening. Then the contempt of court had happened. The bench had also upheld the same thing. Then they permitted the Sandanakudu Vida by the Muslims. Of course, we don't have any problem the Muslims having any Sandanakudu Vida. But when you have a hypocrisy, when the court grants permission, when you stop the permission, when the CASF cadres come there for lighting of the lamp to assist the devotees, when all that is being prevented by the state government, the state government is ensuring that there is a Hindu-Muslim conflict.
Exactly.
The government
Here it seemed there was no conflict between the communities to begin with.
Let me tell you for the first time.
Yes, Mr. Raman.
This is going to
Kalyan
become
Raman.
an issue like Ram Janmabhoomi. This is going to become an issue like Ram Janmabhoomi. Whether Sumant likes it or not,
it could become that issue. Okay, I will delve into that in days to come.
Sumant
Raman, final 10 seconds.
Mr. Rajashekharan, who said that this has not been disputed so long, suddenly Hindutva forces have come. Why was there a judgment on this issue given in 1996?
Precisely.
Where was BJP then? Where was Hindutva then? How come again another case was there in 2014? At least you can say, okay, BJP had emerged.
So it is a legacy issue, as Pullar Rao says.
It has been going on.
It has been going on.
Almost
And
70,
we could
80,
agree
90
to
years.
settle it amicably between communities. We know as a history with political interest involved, That's not going to happen. But is it fair because of ideology for a certain government to restrict someone's legal rights? I think that is the central issue here. I leave it at that. I do thank our guests for joining us. We'll continue to maintain a very close watch on this issue in days to come. Thanks a lot for watching.